Okay, we're gonna do something a little differently today. Honestly, I'm too tired. I had to take a Benadryl. I had to mow the lawn super late at night, so we're just gonna try to learn some openings. I left my opening book in my car, so I'm just gonna I have a fundamental idea of how the opening theory and stuff, so I'm sort of going to let the engine teach me some stuff, and I'm going to look at some new ideas. And I have the eval on because I want a general idea of, like, at what point, I'm not going to beat this 3200, so I want to kind of see, with hints and stuff, like, what I can do, or, like, what looks like some of the best moves. Okay, so I almost always do... Okay, and this is actually this is a line that I've seen before. I don't know specifically. This is called the Indian variation, but I don't really know much, especially at my level. I don't think many people are playing specifically the Indian variation. I think they're just accidentally putting or getting there, or they have a general idea that they want to block this. But okay, so without looking at the eval, I personally would want to move the knight. Obviously, I have the hints on here, but I am not looking at what the best line is. Generally speaking, I know to do this or this. I don't really yet want to block the bishop, in my opinion. So really, it's either e3 or knight f3. So it looks like those are the top two choices for white, with knight f3 being the top choice for white. So I'm going to play that. This is still book. I knew that one or the other was book. It might actually be that both are book. But I don't know if... I don't specifically know if they're book with relation to the Indian variation, or if they're book with respect. This is book specifically because normally this is the opening move, the reishi or ready or however you pronounce that, and then fianchetto. So this makes sense, but I don't know if like this one, if e3 is specifically. Okay, so that's fine. Without looking at the eval again, so they move this. That makes me think they're gonna fianchetto. So I could. I still feel pretty safe because if he does this, as soon as he moves, I can take. So I'm not too worried. So I think development is the best. Personally, I think development is the best case. And I want to be. I think I want to be able to castle kingside. So I think e3 is probably the best move. Okay, so it's up there. It's not. It's like the third. It's the second suggested line, but it's the okay. Now it's the second. E3, or what is c4? So just to meet and attack. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I wonder what the line is here. That's still a book move. Interesting. Let's see. Let me go up back here. So c4. Oh, okay. It has to recalculate the. Oh, this is interesting. So it's saying here, if I even go back further. Wow. Oh, for black. Oh, wait. Have I been Okay, no. So they're still saying e4 is. And where's the? I have takebacks on. I'm pretty sure. It doesn't matter. I made the move. Should be fine. It's kind of looking like c takes d5 is best move. And that kind of makes sense. I mean, it's just a pawn in this. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's obviously going to be a queen move because that pawn's just hanging and you don't really want. Oh, interesting. Okay. It's good that it's not taking that much time. Or maybe I'm giving it that kind of time. Okay, so without looking at the eval, my thought was that it was going to take with a queen to just get its queen active. Didn't really think it was going to castle, but now for sure they're going to have to take this pawn. And they have two attackers on the pawn, but they technically they could remove with a knight because this would just be sort of a lost piece. And there's not really a great way to defend this. I mean, I could do here, but then that's just losing a pawn. I could go here, but then if he goes here, yeah, I would think that the knight is probably the best move, at least to defend the pawn, but I don't know if it's worth defending the pawn. Let's look at the evals. So basically, there's no wrong moves here, but the best move is e3, which, let me see if that makes sense to me. Why is that making sense? So they're saying bishop g4, so right here, but why is, oh, I guess it opens, why is this a good move? Oh no, it's not done calculating. Really? Okay, so they're saying bishop takes f6, taking the knight is best. Not done calculating, but let me just stick with this line. Bishop takes x6, bishop takes f6. Wow. Okay, so all right, this eval is taking way too long. I have it set to like the best thing, so we're just gonna do e3 because it looks like the best move. Bishop g4, bishop e2. See, the problem is I don't really want this to get too much in the weeds, but these all sort of feel like natural moves. Basically, it's like, let us open this for development. We don't really want to move this too much. We don't want this to be a free attack. Okay, that's fine. I'm not particularly worried, actually, about this threat. Because I just take with the queen. I could even do something like this, attacking. But then I guess he could just go here, and I would have to step up here. I guess that would be fine. Get the eval d4 or bishop c4. So they're saying either this or d4 or this, just building up the center. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. Well, does that really make sense? It just sort of, I feel like that would block in my knight. What is there saying? d4, knight bd. So knight. Oh, d7. So they're saying here. Yeah, I probably would develop here, or at least somewhere along this diagonal. Okay. I do think bishop takes g7 is the way to go. I would just do that. Okay, and then they're saying this isn't really a threat. So yeah, I guess C. Okay, so they're saying d4. They're saying fuck it, go for it. Or castles, or a castle even. I would want a short castle. But the question is, why is it suggested? Okay, so that's already bumped up to the top, so I'm gonna do that. let's reevaluate. So everything is pretty well protected. That's good. I feel like I have good development. I think what I would really want to do is get this guy somewhere here. But not they're suggesting, so I think knight c3 is not a bad move, and it's even moving up. I do want development. But they're even saying to just move here, which I don't really quite understand. I don't know what the idea there is. I guess it's just a dark square, so it can't be pinned. And they really want me to push d4, which I guess is a better spot. It's not a behind pawn, so it's a little bit stronger. I'm just trying to remember. I'm trying to think. I don't want to just play computer lines. I want to think about more of why. So like the idea here is you want to get it on a dark square because it's less pieces now to attack dark squares. And I guess if you go here, it's a bit more trapped. So this is a bit more of an open route. And then this one is pushing the pawns forward. But unfortunately, I know this is like, I feel like I would go here. It's got 2 defenders and 2 attackers, so it would be even, right? They would go like here, here, and it would feel relatively safe. But if I go here, oh, there's still 2 defenders and 1 attacker. So I guess that makes sense to me. Now it's got 2 attackers. Okay. Queen or knight. Okay, I'm just sort of looking at these, queen or knight. So basically it's the same thing. This actually has 3 defenders. Queen c1 versus knight b d2. So they're saying just get shit off of dark squares. And can't say I blame them. I really, really don't think I would ever think of c1. So I'm gonna do this. Okay, and so they can't take quite yet because there's still 2 defenders. And I think this is just further get them off of light squares, and that makes sense because if he just parks it there, yeah. So I would definitely do that. That's something that I feel like I would think about, so it's possible. You know what I mean? And then they're saying bishop e2, basically just to defend the... This isn't really doing anything right here. So e2 or b5. Yeah. I want to try and practice to be a little more. I'll try and keep in mind. I know a lot of like better players think about moving their pieces back. You know, there's a lot of like there's a general rule where you don't want to move backwards. The idea is you want to march forward and threaten, but there are obviously reasons and points to break the rules. So I'm trying to be a little more flexible in my mentality of like, if I want to get to a higher rating, I need to play a bit of a higher rating. Okay, so basically there's not really a bad move here for white. This is interesting. It's all +1. So they're saying like rook c1, probably to attack the bishop, or just to control that like semi-open file. They're saying rook c1 or knight c4. To attack the queen. Yeah, I would attack the queen at this point. I'm trying not to look at the eval bar too much. The next thing I would think of is attacking the queen again. I don't know if that's too greedy. Technically, it would work. rook c1 or queen d2. Queen c1 or rook c1. So they're saying one or the other, and I guess that's to open up an attack. Let's. I'm not obviously, and just to point out, the point is not that I'm going to be able to remember this whole sequence. It's the sort of like what is. There's always a best move, even if you're losing. And so I like the idea of maybe I should actually blunder. I don't know how close I am to a victory. You know what I mean? But maybe I should actually blunder and get an idea of what it's like to be in a completely losing position. Obviously, right now the eval says I'm basically winning. So they're saying queen d2, knight c, d2. So they're saying to retreat the knight. Interesting. Queen d2 goes here. I don't personally think I would ever want to retract the knight. So we'll see why. Oh. So now I could threaten the knight. Queen b2 or queen c2. I feel like I would go. Let's see what this is like. Okay, so it's completely losing. Yeah, because now I can't attack the. Okay, so obviously this is where I start losing it. At this point, I do think that I would move the queen in some manner. Oh, this would lead to a fork. That is a mistake as well. So I basically have to do this. Okay, that's fine. I have to take. Or no, I don't really. I really could go here and here. But usually queen trades are the best. And that's what the eval is saying. But I feel like if I did this. Blunder, you said. Oh, fuck. Yeah, there's no. Okay, I just didn't see that. But I could do. No, that's not going to work. Yeah, and this is why I lose, right? There's a loss somewhere here. Okay, I got to. Okay, why is that a blunder? What did that do? Oh, fuck. Well, that's okay. I sort of started playing on my own, and that's what I mean. Obviously, I'm playing against a 3200, but I feel like I had some good ideas, or not me personally, but we'll do a game review, and I'll see if I can't recall some of the concepts. Yeah, the thing is, I like that. I really don't want to. It was more of better understanding or getting more familiar with the principles of opening ideas. Because it doesn't make sense to play against a 3200 bot that takes like 10 minutes to do, move updates. What's the great move here? So this is just over defends. Oh, I meant this. Okay, so principally, this is the regular opening, the sort of reishi. I'm just going to say reishi. I don't know what the actual opening is. And I guess you just strike at the pawn center. I'm always a little... Honestly, the reason I don't play this normally, because I just think that they're going to take, especially at low levels. So I wonder actually if I can go into the game. Okay, so what if I go here? Oh, how do you do a custom new position? No, wait, stop. New position. Custom position. Practice. So if I go boom, boom. Okay. I'll figure that out later. I'll go back to this video and see. But basically, okay, so even that is saying it should have taken. Right. Or no, that's just a threat. Yeah. Or that's just mad drawing. I don't know why they don't take, because I feel like they could just... I would have to take here, and that just feels nasty. But I don't know. I feel like... low-level players like me would just be like, oh, take the pawn, and it just kind of ruins the structure. But the computer seemed fine. Yeah, and this is sort of where here attacking the queen makes sense. And then that was just a blunder. Oh, isn't that interesting? I paid like a 2,000 because I had a bot. I mean, yeah, I think that's where it sort of ends. It doesn't really matter how many best moves you play. If you're like dead lost, mate in 12, yeah, I mean, obviously a computer is going to find that. Alright, but obviously the fact that I've had that computer tell me what to play is different, but I feel like I took away a lot of good stuff there. Like the principle of the fianchetto is that you really do want to keep this dark spirit bishop, but it does sort of is like a double-edged sword. This is like a really nice, powerful thing, but it also like as soon as this guy is gone, like if you go here, here, or here and get taken, then this rook is in severe danger. This is the only move that I'll really have to actually come back and double check like what happens if they take. But the rest was sort of just like free pawn, develop the bishop, sort of also protecting the pawn. And you can't hurt me, and there's just... I don't know if I would see this per se, but I guess there wouldn't be another space for me to go after I centralized rooks. So, and this will just get the queen to safety. So, yeah. And that's about it. That's the way the cookie crumbles.